Hey Pilates Party people, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline, a certified Pilates and yoga instructor here in Christchurch, New Zealand. Today's practice is a creative reformer flow designed to find a little bit of fun and spice throughout your movement. We do have some props and tools along the way. We have our Pilates box, just taking it off to the side of your reformer. We'll use it later on in practice. The headrest is lowered, the foot bar is lifted, and let's take a look under the hood, looking at those springs. We have one heavy, one medium, one light spring. That's one heavy, one medium, one light spring. And let's break dance it to face the front of that reformer. Scooting the bum all the way down, head onto that lowered headrest. Heels will start by landing just onto the foot bar, just under those sit bones. Lifting the sit bones just enough to slide the tail long. Lifting the shoulders just enough to slide the shoulders into the back pockets. Hands then will float onto the hips and we'll lift the left leg to tabletop position. Knee and hip are going to be in alignment here. Sometimes that knee likes to bow a little closer towards the chest. Press it nice and long. Fan out through the back of the ribs as you inhale. And as you exhale, press through that right heel, pressing nice and long, nice and strong. Inhale, widen to the back of the ribs. Feel that fanning sensation. Exhale. The lowest rib is going to drop down towards that carriage. Inhale, fan to the back of the ribs. Exhale, let that lower rib sink. As the lower rib sinks, on that exhale, you feel the two sides of ribs hugging in towards that midline. Last two. Last one. This time as you fold in, feel that fanning sensation to the back of the ribs, extend to the left leg. Folding in, drop the lowest rib. Exhale. Inhale. Last three. 2. 1. Press out nice and long. Take the left toes onto the foot bar. Find the foot bar. Lifting the left toes. Take the right toes onto the foot bar as well. Still hip width distance apart. Roll the heels under and lift them up towards the glutes. 5. Just 5 counts, so maybe going a little slower, a little quicker, find what feels good, maybe pausing. Last 3 counts. This time, lifting the heels and then slowly walking those toes all the way back down onto that foot bar. Heels then land hip width distance apart. Fold right back into the stoppers. Lifting that right leg to tabletop, point the toes, press that knee away. Hip and knee are in alignment. Exhale. We'll keep that leg in tabletop as you inhale. More connecting to the back body here, connecting to that breath and breathing through the back side of the ribs. Exhale, drawing the back side of the ribs down, connecting through the front of the core. Those ribs draw together at center line. 4. This time, as you fold back in, extend that right leg. Press out and extend. 5. 'Press out nice and long. Take the right toes onto the foot bar if you can find it. Lift the left toes onto that foot bar as well. Slowly folding into that left knee. Wrap that right heel under. So now we've changed it up to a march. Lifting both heels. Fold the opposite heel. Find that dance. Maybe going a little faster, maybe a little slower. Last 3. Last count here, evening out the sides, lifting both heels, slowly baby stepping all the way back down, giving the underside of the foot a little bit of a massage. Take your time. Ooh, and if there's any sensational spaces, especially through the arch of the foot, maybe slowing it down to that space, giving it a few more pulses through until the heels land onto that foot bar. Folding to the knees and into the hips, closing those stoppers. Taking the hands on the underhand grip, we're going to come up to a seated position. So as you exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders, press away. Maybe those legs drape over the front of the foot bar. Maybe you have a little bit of shorter legs like myself, so you just come to a seated position. All right, we're gonna change those springs. We're gonna take off that medium spring, leaving us with one heavy, one light spring. One heavy, one light. We're gonna find those feet in straps. So melting all the way back down, pressing those legs nice and long from that foot bar, taking one strap over one arch of the foot, pressing it away, doing the same with the other leg. 45-degree angle with those legs. Knees are knocked together, ankles are knocked together as well. Hips are nice and heavy here. The hands can float back onto the front of the hips, sides of the hips. Find what feels good to you. And when you're ready, inhale, draw those legs up to the ceiling, to the stars. Hips stay nice and heavy, so just floating up. As long as those hips stay nice and heavy, we'll feel the back line of the body. And then exhale, point the toes, press down. Lowest rib gets nice and heavy here. Inhale, feel that fanning sensation. Exhale, that melting sensation. Engage through the front of the rib cage. Hug and knit those abs. Last one with this up and down movement. Next time you press out to 45. Turn the toes out, heels in, frog press, folding in, zipping up the inner thighs, pressing out, heels click together. Last 4. Last 3, feeling the zip of the inner thighs. Last 2, press out, zip up. Last 1, folding in, and pause here. Soles of the feet then turn together, knock together. Knees then bow out to either side. Option to take those hands onto the straps or those hands onto the knees, maybe rocking back and forth. For me, I like to find a little bit deeper into this stretch. Find the reclined butterfly, taking the hands just onto the straps to keep them lifted from the chest, and then drape the feet down into that well. Last breath here, wherever here is for you. Maybe you're sticking up, rocking and swaying. Maybe you're lowering down. As you inhale, lifting up. Soles of the feet then look towards the foot bar. Toes out, heels in. We find that frog press again. Press out through it. Hands back on the hips for 4 more. Last 2. Last 1. Turn the feet back to parallel. Fold the knees into the chest. Take one strap off. Find that foot bar. Yep, there it is. And then find the other side, doing the same thing. All right, we're gonna lift up the head, neck, and shoulders, hands on the underhand grip, press away, and we're gonna scoot off to the side. We're coming into a little bit of a different space here. I was gonna give away a little bit too much. I had to pause myself. All right, so we're gonna take it onto a light colored spring or a light spring. We're gonna take that foot bar down. This is where the creativity comes into it. So that carriage is loosey-goosey, it wants to move. We're gonna step off that carriage and take that box short ways onto that carriage. All right, creative brain on. Taking those hands onto the box, knees onto the carriage. And then we're gonna come into a soft child's pose. Knees out to either side, heels click together like that frog press. Forearms are going to drape down. And if this feels comfortable, slowly scooting the pelvis, so the front of the pelvis is just going to drape down onto that carriage. Make sure you're nice and comfortable here. And then rest the torso onto that carriage. Hands then come onto the rails. From here, we're going to wrap around those rails. And then we're going to keep that frog press or that external rotation to the hips. As you exhale, press the front of the hips into that box, lifting that left leg up. Heel is going to lift, tap it down. That knee is going to lift with it. Stay on the left side, pressing down to the front of the pelvis, lifting through that heel, that knee. Last 3. Last 2. Hug the abdominals in. Hug the lower abdominals in and up. This time, the right hand side, same movement. Keeping the pelvis nice and square. Exhale. Last 2. I'm sure you've guessed it. Last 1. As a single leg, this time double those legs. Heels are going to click together. Press them together. Knees are going to be out to the side. And as you exhale, press the front of the pelvis. Lift those heels. Soften. Now you can feel those glutes really start to activate. Dig into that sensation. Last 3. This last 1, we're going to lift up. Little pulses. 5, 4, click those heels. 3, 2, 1. Melt it down. Whew. Untuck those toes. Take those knees back to center. Press away. Forearms are then going to come back down onto that box. Don't worry, we're not going to send our pelvis anywhere here. We want those knees and those hips into alignment. Coming to the front of your platform. So it's going to feel like a very light spring here. So the core really has to engage. If you want a little bit more help with this movement, take it onto a medium spring. Otherwise, stay right where you are. Shoulders and elbows are in alignment. Tuck those toes along your platform. So for me, that scoots the carriage out a little bit. That might not be the case for you, but I have an extended platform, so it just looks a little funky fun. Making sure those hips and those knees are in alignment, shoulders and elbows are in alignment. Press through those elbows, press through the forearms, drawing the shoulder blades slightly towards the front of the body. We feel a soft doming through the back of the ribs. As you exhale, just lift and hover those knees. Try not to move the carriage. Inhale, tap down. Last 5. Last 4. Last 3. Hug the lower abdominals in and up. Last 2. You got it. Last 1. Option to stay at this level, this layer. Option here, as you exhale, lift, press. Inhale, fold, and tap. Exhale, press. Inhale, tap. 4. Still pressing through those elbows, wrapping those shoulder blades forward. 3, 2, always resetting at the back. Last 1. Oh my goodness. All right, this time we're going to stay lifted and just press in and out. If you want that reset, keep it. As you exhale, lift, press. Inhale, fold. If you want that reset, take it. Option here, press. Inhale, exhale. Keep those lower abdominals hugging up and in, pressing through those forearms, wrap those shoulders, and round through that upper spine. Feel a soft doming sensation. Last 2. Last 1 here. We got this. Press it out and fold it in. Oh my goodness. All right. Lifting up into a nice low kneel. We're rocking and rolling through it. We're going to step off that reformer just onto either side. We're going to take a little bit of a lunging series, keeping that box right where it is. Again, if you want a little bit of assistance, take it onto a medium spring. If you're not so sure, if you like the standing sensation, you can always do this off to the side. But if you're A-okay, we keep it on that light spring. Stepping onto that platform first, always that safety first. Stepping onto that carriage second. Toes are going to point towards the box at a slight turnout. So you can start with parallel feet. Turn out towards the box. just with that box leg. The other leg stays nice and long. Hands are gonna float onto the hips. We're gonna send the bum slightly back, but the spine is gonna stay long, so we're gonna feel a hinge through those hips, almost as if we're karate chopping the front of those hips. As you press out, exhale, fold into that carriage knee. Knee and ankle are gonna be in alignment. And then drive back up. So you notice that the bum slightly sticks out. Exhale. And you can find a deep hinge if that feels good. That might be a lot into the inner thigh, the groin area. That is okay. Soften that hinge. Find a variation that feels good to you. Last two. Pressing through those heels, zipping up the inner thighs. Last one. Option to add on a little bit of a twist. So taking that hand that's closest to the foot bar, we're gonna take it on the hip just for now, but when you come into that lunge, hips stay nice and square. Take that hand, tap the box. Draw it back and drive it up. Here we go again. Hinge, fold, press, reach, tap it back, drive it up. You got it. Last one. All right, this time we're adding on another layer if we want it. So we're pressing down, finding that cross, keep that cross, fold into that standing leg on that platform. So now we have a little bit of a fold. We're pressing back out from that squat, hand back onto the hip, press up through that carriage leg, lifting ourselves. Press, crisscross, fold, nice and strong. Last one. Just as we got the hang of it, only 3 in this round because we have another layer to go. All right, take it up. Option here to keep doing that layer, keep finding your layer. Option, we'll press out, take that hand crisscross, and we'll stay low. So here we go, folding in and pressing out. That knee and that ankle stay in that beautiful alignment the entire time. You find that crisscross. 2, 1, press it out, and we'll reset, hand onto the hip, pressing all the way up. Whew, that is a burner. Stepping off your platform, or if you have an extended platform like myself, and you feel comfortable, taking both feet on that platform, and just spiraling around. And again, we start with those parallel feet. I'm gonna step to the middle of my platform here, and we're gonna turn the toes in towards that box. From here, we're starting with those hands on the hips, the shoulders in the back pocket, that lowest rib hug, and we're gonna find that tip forward, sending the bum back, knee and ankle in alignment. Pressing through that standing leg on that carriage to rise up, and fold, hinge, press. Driving up. Last 4 rounds. And again, you're always welcome to stay in the variation that works for you. This is a challenging variation. All right, I think it's about time we add that next level if we want it, or layer. Pressing out, keep those hips nice and square. Crisscross, take it back, drive it up. So we're just finding that rotation from that mid-spine area. So taking our ribs, having a look at that box, drawing back to center, and pressing to that standing leg for 5. This time, we find that sticks around a little bit longer. So if it feels good, cross body, fold into that scooter, press out, and step all the way up. Break down that movement, fold it in, scooter into that squat, press out from that squat, and up. Last 3. Last one here. Now, option to keep the layer that feels good to you, or we stay in that squat, stay in that rotation. Stay nice and low, spine long. 3, 2, and 1. Pressing out, taking it back, all the way up. Whoo-wee. All right, we're gonna step off that reformer, always with that carriage leg first, then that still platform second. All right, we're gonna find our arm series here. So make sure that box is nice and tidy where it is. And looking under the hood, making sure that you do have that light spring. So we just wanna stay on the light spring. We're gonna come onto that reformer here, onto a seated place on your box. Take the shin that's right in front of you, just nice and open through that knee, right nice and forward, and that other shin that's closest to the carriage, onto that carriage. Now shimmy shake so that half that glute is off the reformer and the shin is nice and heavy. If this doesn't feel good in that knee, in that hip, or it's just not there for you today, a-okay, super cool. Take that leg right over and just find a nice seated position. We have a lot of movement to do in the arms, so make sure that you are comfortable in that space. So find what feels good to you. We'll take the strap that's closest to the hand and we'll take it into that hand. So other hand is going to find its way onto the hip, and then we're gonna pull that strap in so that the hand is almost at the face, but just slightly in front. The elbow is straight down, the fingertips are straight up. Doing a little Lady Liberty. So as you exhale, reaching all the way up, stamp those fingertips into the ceiling tiles and draw down. Exhale, inhale. 4. Keep that tension. For 3. Those shoulders notice this work right away, but keep them soft. 2. Last 1. All right, like a little teapot, we'll press up, reach up and over, pour out. Inhale, draw back to center and fold in. Exhale, up and over, back down. Last 2. Last 1. Draw back to center. Take that strap back onto the shoulder rest. Whew, lots of arm work today because we're going to turn to face towards that foot bar. Once you're nice and comfortable in this seated position, make sure you shimmy shake into that comfortable seat. We'll take that strap back into the hand, short loop today, and the other side as well. So turning over to the other side, we know where we're going, so if you don't want to actually take that strap back into the shoulder rest, you're more than welcome to keep it. Otherwise, we're just going to get on getting on. So take those hands just to the side of that box. So it's really fun to have that box here to give a little feedback, making sure that we're not nice and close towards that carriage. We're not just pressing and pulling, we're opening up. We're nice and long and strong through the spine, open and finding that width through the chest. Hugging the lowest rib in and down as you exhale, reach those arms. Inhale, reach the crown of the head. Exhale. Hug the core. Last 4. Last one here, we're going to reach out, pause, take those arms into a soft V. So just gently out to the side, little tiny circles. Now we don't want to pull those straps back and forth. We don't want to feel that jarring motion. We're just circling. A nice, slow, controlled glide of that carriage and reverse those circles. Draw back to that V, back to center, and drape those arms. Hoo-wee. All right. Take the strap that we already found the side of. Otherwise, we're coming onto the other side. So one strap is in the headrest or the shoulder rests. If it feels better just to take that strap back down while you set up for the other side, you're more than welcome to, knowing that carriage is going to move every time you pull that strap. So again, that shin that's on the box is going to be nice and horizontal. That shin that's on the carriage is just going to be laying by your side. That bum cheek is going to kind of hover, but the hips are going to be nice and heavy here. So make sure it feels nice and comfortable. If it feels more comfortable having that seat fully on that box, you're more than welcome to it. And then Lady Liberty styles, hand on hip, reaching out, up towards the sky. Take it close to the body and reach it up. Keep it close to the body, folding down. The shoulders stay nice and soft. Exhale, hug the two sides of the ribs towards the midline, towards your center. Last 4. All right, now we have that little teapot pour. Exhale, reach up and over. Back to center and down. Reach up and over. 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Take that strap back into the shoulder rest. Well done, done and dusted. Let's take a little stretch here. I'll come to face you, but you're more than welcome to face the front of that reformer, the side, the back. We'll take those arms up overhead. Left arm will draw over the crown of the head. Right arm will cradle. Inhale, reach the crown of the head. Exhale, tip it over to one side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, back to center. Drape those arms, roll out those shoulders. Inhale, reach it back up. Right arm onto the crown of the head and the left arm cradling. Inhale, up to the side and back to center. Up to the side and back to center. Drape those arms by your side. Take a few shoulder rolls here and you are done and dusted. Well done, team. Let me know how you liked the practice, how you did. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.